everybody. Brenda Bennett here. Do you recognize me with the curls? Usually it's straight and usually I have bangs, but yeah, can't get to my hairdresser, so I am not going to cut my bangs myself. This is how it looks right now. So welcome and thank you for joining me. This is my Thursday live. I come on live every Thursday at 11. Last week I made something. What was it last week? Anybody remember? Oh, no, I don't remember. Anyway, tell me where you're looking from. Oh, I made cereal, thanks. My daughter's in the other room doing her schoolwork. My son's working over here doing his schoolwork. So today we are going to make a quick keto toast that doesn't need any eggs. But if you have eggs, you can replace what I use for the egg replacement. I made this a couple of years ago when I was on the autoimmune protocol diet, and it is fantastic for when you can't have eggs, you can't have dairy, you can't have a lot of things. So this quick keto toast is fantastic to put smashed avocado on top, put an egg. Thanks. Welcome. Say hey, tell me where you're from, where you're watching from, and how are you doing? Thanks for jumping on, everybody. So today we're going to make quick keto toast, and you can make it along with me. You need a few ingredients. Last week I made a dry cereal. Let me show it to you. It's in my fridge. And it is a dry cereal that is basically with all shelf-stable ingredients. Almond flour. You can look for that video right on the left side of Facebook. The videos are right there for you. You can see all the live videos. And I'm hoping everybody can hear me fine. Hey, from Puerto Rico, and Brandy from New Hampshire, and Yvette from New York. Hello, I can see today. Last week I couldn't see. So last week I made this dry keto cereal. Almond flour. If you don't have almond flour, or if you have nut allergies like my son, you could make it with sunflower seeds ground up or sesame seeds. It needs only a few ingredients, and then you just mix it up 1/3 cup into a bowl. You could use water, you could use cream, you could use coconut milk or almond milk to make it. It's very easy, and it's on my website, sugarfreemom.com. So you can get that recipe there. If you don't know me, I'm Brenda, and I've been blogging since 2011, and my website is sugarfreemom.com. I also wrote a cookbook back in October called Naturally Keto, and a lot of my recipes are in here. But I have over 1,000 free recipes on my website. So welcome everyone. And please, for next week, tell me any, recipe requests. I'd love to do something live with you since we're all home. Mine as well, right? Oh, and my sweatshirt is my son, who's home from college, and he made this sweatshirt for me. Keep calm and keto on. And I think that's what I'm going to continue to do through all of this. Hopefully you are too, and you're not eating all the things in the house, keto or not, right? Hey, Vivian from Puerto Rico. Hello, everyone. All right, so today we're making quick keto toast. I shared it on my website, I think, yesterday. So you need a couple of things. You need some parchment paper. And what I did, because the recipe, in order to make it nice and thin, but strong enough to hold avocado or cream cheese and smoked salmon for breakfast, you don't want it too thin like a cracker. And I tell you in the recipe, I think I put the link above for this recipe, to measure out a rectangle once we make the dough of 9 by 10. So all you do on your parchment paper is get a pencil or a pen and a ruler and measure it out. I've measured out the borders of that so I know where I'm spreading it to, and I don't spread it out too thin. And then I have to look at my laptop to make sure to preheat the oven to 350. So let's do that now. Okay, I'm back. The oven's over there. All right, so now you need, hey Danny from Chicago. All right, so now you need the egg replacement. You could use, in my notes, I wrote it in here and I'm gonna share with you, if you can have eggs and you don't mind using them, you can replace what I use with 2 eggs for this recipe. But if you don't want to use up your eggs, don't. Save them. You can save them for something else. Save them for another recipe. What you need is beef gelatin powder. This is, and which I put in my cookbook, the gelatin egg replacement that you can use. I wouldn't recommend it for a recipe like my coconut flour bread that needs 6 eggs. I've tried it. It was as dense as a pancake. So don't do that. But anything that requires 1 or 2 or 3 eggs, you can make with gelatin. It's very simple to do. Now, the reason I am using grass-fed beef gelatin is because if you don't know this, your fat and in an animal and in a person hold toxins in it. So if you're going to be using gelatin, which comes from animals, beef, cows, you want to make sure that it's grass-fed because toxins are within the fat cells, right? So that's why I use Vital Proteins grass-fed beef gelatin. Now, I'm going to show you something else. This is what I put in my coffee, collagen. Not the same thing. They cannot be swapped. This beef gelatin powder gels up, and this collagen does not gel up at all. I put this in my coffee. It's great to strengthen your hair, your bones, your nails, but it's not going to gel up. You're not going to get the same thing as you would with the beef gelatin. Now, you might have this. I was going through my pantry and cleaning out some old things. You may have Knox gelatin, which is fine to use as a replacement for this, but I highly recommend grass-fed gelatin. It's much better for you. All right, so what you're going to do is you need a small bowl and 2 tablespoons of water and a tablespoon measuring tool, and you're going to take the 2 tablespoons, I'm looking at my notes, 2 tablespoons of the beef gelatin, and you're going to mix it right in with 2 tablespoons of water. Just water. I have filtered water from my fridge. You're going to put it in, and you're going to mix it up. Oops, I don't have enough. Here we go. And you're going to see, and I'm going to bring this closer so you can see it. Scanning the spoon. You're going to see it immediately starts to gel up once it hits the water. It doesn't have to be warm or it's just room temperature water. And that's what you want. You definitely want this. Can you see it? And you just kind of smash it up until it's more like glue, like a paste. This is what's going to hold this toast together. And this is our egg replacement. Like I said, if you don't have this and you want to try this today with 2 eggs, you can certainly do it. It's not a big deal. All right, so now that's done. 4 tablespoons of water is now going to get boiled and mixed with this until it dissolves nicely. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, let me see if I have any questions. You guys can leave any questions that you have. Hello, Mary from Mexico and from Germany. Isat, I think. Hey, Victoria, a friend of mine. All right, so this quick keto toast is so great. My kids love it. I make it with coconut flour because my youngest son has a tree nut allergy. But I also linked above, my original recipe was almond flour. So if you don't have any almond allergies and you don't like coconut flour, I've linked to that recipe as well above. And so you can use what you have on hand. If you have almond flour, you're going to use that, but it is going to require different measurements. So please don't follow this recipe and just swap coconut flour with almond flour. That's one of the biggest questions I get all the time. You cannot do it. It's not a good idea, and it won't be successful. Coconut flour is denser, and it needs a lot more liquid than almond flour does. So once we have the water boiled, we mix it. So you're going to mix it now with the, I'm actually going to put it in a bigger bowl. I'm going to put the hot water in a bigger, larger bowl, and I'm going to put the gelatin into this bowl. And we're just going to let it sit for a minute. And it's going to soften, and it's going to gel up. And it's going to be loose enough to add the rest of the ingredients. All right, let me get rid of that and give it a second. So the rest of the ingredients that you need today are avocado oil, or you could use coconut oil, or you could use olive oil. So whichever you have on hand is certainly fine. You need coconut flour. You need real salt. Sea salt is best, Himalayan sea salt. I don't have parsley on hand, and I'm running low of my Italian seasonings, but that's what I would say, parsley, but if not, use some Italian seasonings. And baking powder. Oh, I think I left out something. Onion powder. Yes, I need to get that. So it was the beef gelatin or the Knox gelatin if that's all you have on hand. Preheat the oven to 350. Parchment on there. We measured out with a pencil, 9 by 10 in a rectangle. Small bowl, and now I'm just going to get a better spoon to start seeing. This is going to loosen as a paste and become more manageable to work with. This is our replacement of egg. Back in 2018, I went on the autoimmune protocol diet for hives I was breaking out with and a lot of other symptoms, and it eliminates eggs and a lot of allergens. So I had to remove eggs for a time, and I created this recipe back in 2018 to help others who might have an allergy to eggs or simply, not wanting to use up the eggs, and especially at this time, it's kind of a good recipe just for that. So I'm just trying to get the clumps out, just work with it a little bit. My oven isn't even heated up yet. It hasn't even heated. So just continue to try to get the clumps of this gelatin dissolved. And then we'll add the other ingredients. So let's see, any questions? Next week, a good loaf of non-eggy bread. Well, that is my coconut flour bread. You can read all the reviews on there. Yes, it requires 6 eggs because it is made with coconut flour and flax, but it is not eggy at all. It is a real, true, hold in your hand like a sandwich bread. It's like a honey wheat texture. Just Google sugar-free mom, coconut flour bread, and then it'll pop right up, and that is not eggy at all. I have rave reviews for many, many people since I posted that recipe. I'm still working on this. It's still dissolving, and I don't want any lumps, so I'm still working on it. All right, let's see if there's any more questions. Good morning. Hello. Hi, Mary from Mexico. I hope you all are doing well. Hey, Rebecca just started keto. Good job. Hey, Lynn, my friend, former Rhode Islander, then moved, then came back to Rhode Island. Yay! All right, so like I said, what is in this bowl? It is 6 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of beef gelatin. Why? Because we are replacing 2 eggs to make my quick keto toast. If you do not like coconut flour, you can make it with almond flour. Both of the recipes are linked above this video. Why not add gelatin to 6 tablespoons of the hot water and save? Well, the first time I ever made it, it's a lot to mix at once, so making it a paste first helps it to gel up pretty quickly, and this is the way I've always done it. I guess I could try it that way as a suggestion. I'm always open to trying new things. I just didn't want it to fail while we're live, because that would suck. All right, it's done. So now my recipe says in a small bowl you mix the gelatin together, and then we are going to add, we lined our parchment paper, we are going to add the remaining ingredients. So here we go. We are going to add a half cup of, where's my measuring stuff? Oh, if you watched my video last week about the funny drawer, my daughter cleaned out my drawer for me. So it is not a big clumpy mess, and now I can actually close it. Does anybody else have a drawer like that? All right, so now I'm going to use up all the avocado oil I have. I have another one ready to go. I like avocado oil for this recipe because it's very mild in flavor, but you can use coconut oil and you can use olive oil even. Okay, next, I think my other one was ready to go in case we ran out. Next, we are going to add coconut flour, and my recipe calls for a half a cup. You can get this recipe online. Now, I already used that with the oil. I don't want to put that in the bag. So, since I have plenty of measuring cups, now that we've found them all in my messy, messy drawer, I'm dumping a half cup into the bowl, and then we are adding a teaspoon, oh, my oven's ready, it just beeped. A half a teaspoon of dried parsley. I don't have it on hand, but I do have Italian seasonings, so that's going in there. A half teaspoon of sea salt. I forgot the onion powder. Here it is, gotta get it. And this makes a really savory toast. It's really great for avocado. You could put an egg on top, whatever you want. It's not bread material. It's like it's like toast. It's already toasted once it comes out of the oven. Baking powder, 1 teaspoon. Now, when you start mixing this, you're gonna think, what? This is way too liquidy. This is never going to even spread. How can it possibly work? As you continue to mix, if you can see, it starts thickening. Because that's what the gelatin powder is doing. That's what the dense coconut flour is doing. In the almond flour recipe that I adapted this from, it does add, I do add Parmesan cheese to that. And so if you're dairy free, you cannot use that one. Use this coconut flour. I hope that I can convince most of you who say you hate coconut flour to actually like coconut flour. I've had a few reviews of my coconut flour bread that's on the blog with the 6 eggs, and people can't even believe that it doesn't taste like coconut flour and it doesn't taste eggy. I guarantee that you will love it. All right, so now let me get rid of some of these things here so you can see that I'm going to spread. I haven't missed any ingredients. Onion powder, baking powder, the parsley, but I used Italian seasonings, the gelatin, and the salt. So now we have this mixture. Look, it thickened right up. And I'm going to get the baking tray. Of course, make sure your hands are washed, or actually you can just put it right in the center and use another piece of parchment, which is what I might do because it's pretty sticky. I might have to use my hands after the fact, but for now, I'm going to just use a piece of parchment. Right on top. And we just mush it down. And like I said, I made the marks with the ruler right here so I know not to go past those lines. It won't be perfect. It's not going to be a perfect rectangle, but what does it really matter? As long as we can make the 9 squares out of it, so we have 9 pieces. I have a tool. I got this long ago from a friend who was doing Pampered Chef, I think. So this works really nicely. You can just use a ruler. A roller, rolling pin. Yeah, that's what it is. All right, so then I lift it up and I see, oh, I'm not past my lines over here, but it looks like I'm past my lines over there. So what I would do in this case is I would just move. I would just take some pieces of the dough and just move it. It looks oily. I know it looks oily, but I guarantee you are gonna have a nice crisp piece of toast. So I'm just gonna go with my hands now, because I want to see the marks and I don't want to go past it, because the other day I made this to prep for doing this live with you guys, and I made it for dinner and we made it into like crackers, but it was way too thin and it wouldn't even hold avocado toast if that's what you wanted to do, or an egg. So you just mush it around until you have almost a rectangle, but try not to go past the marks that you made. And it is going to be delicious. And maybe once it's in the oven, it bakes for about 20 minutes. I don't have one that's already done, sorry. Maybe I can answer some questions and we can just chat about how things are going for you and if you have any low carb or keto questions. I make a lot of low carb and keto recipes because that's how I eat. Everything is gluten free. And this is going to be fantastic because my son, like I said, has a nut allergy, so I can't use almond flour. I am trying to make a little bit of an edge, almost like you would for a little bit of a crust for like a pizza. And like I said, if you just have longer pieces, just move it around. Can you see what I'm doing here, guys? Hopefully. Even if there's a few holes, it's going to, because of the baking powder, it's going to expand. So, and it's going to be delicious. My kids loved it, and there's no coconut flour taste in this. Surprise, surprise. A lot of people, honestly, if you have a hatred for coconut flour as I did for a long time, it's because you had a crappy recipe that was really dry and dense. If you have a good recipe, you're gonna love coconut flour. I have fantastic coconut flour muffins that I've made for my kids and all their friends when they've like had sleepovers, obviously months and months ago. That can't even believe that they're sugar-free and that they're with coconut flour. I have to wash my greasy hands before I put this in the oven, and then I'm gonna look up some questions that you guys are asking over there. So, I'm over here by the sink. Here I am. I try to do all my lives like a half hour, not too long for you, but I'm trying to do them every Thursday so you can see my face and see that, yes, I am a person. Oh, I want to vent about something. After I put this in the oven, I have to vent to everybody a little something. All right, it's going in the oven. We're going to set it for 20 minutes. On my recipe itself, it says 22. It says 22 minutes on the recipe. Here, 22 to 24 minutes until the edges are brown, the center is baked, and then allow it to cool before you slice it into nice pieces. So this didn't even get dirty. I'm going to put that away. Throw this one out. That's kind of greasy. Okay. So I wanted to share with you, do you all know about my cheesy chicken nuggets recipe with the roasted red pepper sauce? So I'm involved in groups on Facebook too, and I love that people share my recipes and maybe do lives in those groups, like, you know, keto groups, low carb groups. It's great. I don't mind it at all. The problem is when the person who's making the recipe doesn't credit me at all. You know, I'm creating these recipes for free on my website, and another person was making those cheesy chicken nuggets in the group and said it came from her friend, and her friend got it from me and never even mentioned it. You know, all I ask is that when you share something, just in case people don't know this, bloggers, most of them, like myself, we have free recipes for a reason, and the only way we make an income is through ads that go on the traffic to the website. So if you pay a visit to a blogger's free recipe on their website, they can make a little bit of ad income. That's the only way. And, you know, for sale, you know, my cookbook or whatever, that's the way I make an income. But if you go and share, the dog's going to bark now, of course, right? But if you go and share, like you copy and paste the recipe so that the person never has to go to the website, it takes away from any traffic that I would get or any income I would make. So many people don't know that, but it's such a hard thing. But it's just giving credit and saying, hey, this is where I adapted it from. I changed the recipe, but here's the original. Giving some love to the person who actually created it would be really awesome. And I would hope that more of you would at least do that if you follow me, and do that for other bloggers, so that credit is, you know, due where it's supposed to be. And so traffic can go to the website. That would be greatly appreciated. So let's see. This toast, one serving of this toast is, just because somebody asked about the net carbs, one serving of this toast is 149 calories, 13 grams of fat, 3 carbs total, 2 fiber. So basically one square is 1 net carb. So if you're watching net carbs, that's great. Where can we get your cookbook? I have the link above. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's like 35% off right now. It's like $22. You can also buy it at Barnes & Noble's, but I think the stores are closed. And thank you for your support. I really appreciate that. I definitely understand. I hope others really would give credit where credit is due. Yeah, it would just be appreciative if they could put the link so people would actually go to the website to get the instructions or something. It would really help a lot. So happy I caught you live. Thanks, Patricia. All right, so any questions? 20 net. Cynthia says, yes, I do 20 or less carbs a day. Yep, me too. And Rebecca asks, so to lose weight, you should stay around 20 grams of carbs. Yes. Rebecca, if you're new, maybe now's the time not to start keto because you don't want to stress your body out too much. But the best thing you can do is just go back to basics and eat whole, real foods and count your carbs. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe now is not the time to actually lose weight because of the things going on in our country. And you know, I don't know about your ability to get things from local stores and everything. It might be hard, but if you can get stuff from your local, I just actually put a post today on my website, sugarfreemom.com, on the nutrient-dense kitchen. So even whether you're low carb or keto, it doesn't matter. It's the point of eating real whole foods and not eating packaged, stuff, so that you can keep your, immune system healthy with just natural foods, and trying to do that instead of maybe following a particular way. Like if you can only get your hands on certain produce, then, just watch carefully, how many carbs you're eating. But most people on keto have success and get into ketosis doing 20 net carbs a day. I had to not do net carbs. I had to do total 20 because I just could not lose weight. I am hypothyroid and I am on medication, but right now, if you can tell, the last few months since December, I've been dealing with my medication not working again. And so it had to be adjusted, and in the event, and I've gained about 5 pounds, doing nothing different. When I was regulated and I had just gotten on medication, I dropped about 7 pounds in a month effortlessly, not doing anything different. So being hypothyroid is very difficult to burn fat. So in my case, you have to have a little bit less fat in your diet, even doing keto, because it's a struggle to lose that fat. And you want to burn the fat on your body, right? Not the fat that you're actually eating. Can I put this mixture in a loaf pan and just make a loaf of bread? No, this is strictly for toast. If you want to make my bread, I would suggest the coconut flour bread for that, Susan. It does require 6 eggs, and like I said, you cannot replace eggs with the gelatin mixture for that bread. I also have muffins that you might like. Let's see. Yes, Kathy says Lakanto makes peanut butter cookie mix. Yep. Good D's mix is also great if you want packaged, already, done for you keto low carb cookies. Morning from Puerto Rico. Hi, Danielis. And can you use the 2 eggs instead? Yes, you can for this toast. And thanks, Kristen. She loves my recipes. Thanks for all your videos. They are helpful. Great. I have other videos as well that are just strictly for, talking about low carb and keto and different tips. Like I did one a couple weeks ago. You can find these all on the left side of Facebook. 3 strategies to not overeat during stress. Stress eating. It's definitely a thing. Do you have a biscuit recipe? Karen says, yes. Cheesy rolls. Google sugar-free mom cheesy rolls and that will come up. And rave reviews on your burger rolls. Thanks so much. I have a burger roll. Let me see if I can find the picture in here for you guys. I have a whole bread section. Oh, and this is what the coconut flour bread looks like. Truly a sandwich. I also have cloud bread in here, but that's on my website too. But I also have a banana bread that I shared. So, and it doesn't need any bananas. So if you like banana bread, but I shared that on my blog too, but I wanted to share with you the rolls, a picture of the rolls. Where are they? In the bread section. Where are they? I'll find them. Salads, appetizers, focaccia. Oh, I have scones. I have a lot of good stuff. I love this cookbook. I worked hard on this cookbook. Granola in the slow cooker. English muffins, cinnamon rolls, bagels, what else? Biscuits and gravy. My husband loves that one. Cloud bread, French toast. And yeah, I can't find the rolls offhand, but I do have burger rolls and they are fantastic. So let me see, if there's no more questions, I'm probably gonna have to, it's 15 minutes, guys, so I think we'll probably not get to showing you what they look like. What else could I make? I could probably make something else while we wait. And any requests for next week? That'd be awesome. Jackie says you have the best recipes. Thank you. The cereal is amazing. See, guys? So what you do after you mix up this cereal, it's just called keto cereal, and I sent it to all my subscribers. My email subscribers got an actual hard copy printed to email to them. But if you want this recipe on my website, it only has 2 servings. But the live I did last week gives you 9 servings. You store it like this in the refrigerator. You take 1/3 of a cup and you put it in a bowl and you mix 1/3 of a cup of water. Or if you want it thicker, do 1/4 cup of water or milk or coconut milk or almond milk or heavy cream. And you have a delicious hot cereal. You can add a little heavy cream on top or berries if you have them. But it is a hearty, protein-filled meal, and it's shelf stable. So I would just put it in the fridge because it lasts longer and stays fresher that way. All right, let's see. Seeing if there's new comments. A dessert. Peanut butter cookies are easy and much cheaper. My cookbook is on Amazon. Thank you. Rebecca says, I stocked up on all the stuff to do keto. Great. Sheila says, thanks for explaining the traffic process. Thank you. Thanks for understanding. You know, that's why we can do free recipes and not have to pay for recipes. You know, where most bloggers do free recipes so that they can get traffic to their website, and that's how they make some money, which doesn't affect anybody getting the free recipe, you know. And we get lots of complaints all the time. Oh, why do you have to write this? Why do you have to write that? Can't you just get to the recipe? No, it's my blog, it's my website, and I like to write about it and tell you if my family liked the recipe or not. How difficult is it to scroll, right? To scroll to the bottom to get the recipe, the free recipe. So it's a little challenging some days. I try to have grace and patience and try to my best to not be mean. Cynthia says, thank you for being honest about starting any big change during high stress, right? You get yourself up for failure that you don't need now, right? Right. How much fat per day, Rebecca? It really depends. The classic ketogenic approach is like 75, 80% fat, but I could never do that. I could not lose weight with that. It did help my hair grow back that I was losing for a whole year when I didn't know I was hypothyroid, but the doctor wouldn't test me. A whole year it took for my hair to grow back, but because I ate tons of fat. Because prior to that I was just low carb and I was still watching the fat. So keto did help me eating and not worrying about the fat, just giving my body what it needed, and my hair did grow back in the back of my head. But most people to lose weight who don't have hypothyroid like me might do fine at 75% fat. But also I'm only one who needs to lose, you know, if only needed to ever lose like 10 to 20 pounds or whatever. So I went down to 60% fat, but that might be too low for someone else. You might be able to do 70% fat. So I think it's just, you know, you have to try it out and see how much fat you can enjoy and still lose weight. So if you don't have gelatin, can you use chia seeds in place of the egg? I haven't tried it. It's a good thought. I know that chia and flax do work to replace eggs, but I haven't tried it with this recipe for the toast. So not sure. You'd have to try it. Can you turn this into French toast? Not this recipe, no. This recipe is strictly for a crisp toast that you want to make like avocado toast. My cloud bread recipe, I've made a fabulous, it's on my website, sugarfreemom.com, cloud bread French toast. Look that up. Phenomenal. If you don't like I never liked cloud bread as a sandwich to bite into. I always felt like it just stuck to the roof of my mouth, and that's why I created the coconut flour bread for sandwiches. But the cloud bread as French toast is phenomenal. So good, and that recipe is on my blog. You can find that. And I have to get glasses. I can't see this one. Straining to see. Dahlia says, this is good to know. I'm a thyroid cancer survivor, and it's been hard to lose weight as well. Yes. And Kim says, thank you for sharing about your thyroid. I have thyroid problems. And Kim Fielder says, your banana bread is fabulous. Thank you so much. All my stuff, Tammy, is sugar-free, low carb, and keto. Is coconut flour as grainy textured as almond flour? Hillary asked. No, not at all. Not at all. I find it not grainy at all. Try my coconut flour muffins. The chocolate chip coconut flour muffins, fantastic. If you're wondering why these are yellow, these are blue blocking glasses. So I can read and still block because I'm on the computer all day for working. So I want to block some of that blue light so I can actually sleep at night. Kathy asked about lupin flour. I have not used it. Yes. Oh, no, you can't, Debbie, order my cookbook on my website. I don't have that ability, but you'd have to get it on Amazon. But I put the link above. Oh, sorry. That's my grandmother's clock. How do you cut the toast? I'm gonna show you. It's done in about 8 minutes. I would take a pizza cutter and make the 9 slices. You might want to let it cool slightly. Do I have a pasta recipe that's keto friendly? Tracy says, no, but I have a cauliflower gnocchi. That's pretty fantastic. You could try that. Search for a macro calculator where you put in your info and goals and it'll tell you your macros. Right. I like Maria Emmerich's keto calculator on her website, Keto Adapted. Miss the breakfast protein. You store it in the fridge. Can you please say again? Yeah, Steve, it is the Prep Ahead, Make Ahead hot breakfast cereal. So the recipe on my website has just 2 servings, but look on the live I did last week for this, And you can hear all the, this makes 9 servings, and you can store it in the fridge with shelf-stable ingredients. Debbie asks, where can you get your cookbook? It's on Amazon. The link is above. And Cynthia says, my hair is not growing back after 6 years on hypo meds. They probably need to be adjusted. And maybe, are you keto? Because it helped. It really helped me. And Diane says, breakfast is the most difficult for me. I'm interested in the cereal recipe. Just look up on sugarfreemom.com. I have a search bar on the top, hot keto cereal. Do most of your recipes use erythritol? No. Most of the desserts, I like to use liquid stevia and erythritol. Here's why. I like the Swerve brand for erythritol. Seems to be the finest in baking. Some people feel erythritol has a cooling effect on the tongue, and then some people feel stevia is bitter. When you combine the liquid stevia and the Swerve powdered confectioners in a baking recipe, I feel that they cancel out each other and you don't have any aftertaste at all. So try a few recipes of mine that have both so you can see. I missed about the gelatin, Cami says. Is it gelatin sheets? No. I use Vital Protein beef gelatin. I use 2 tablespoons and 6 tablespoons of water to replace 2 eggs for this keto toast. Jenny says you have great recipes. Thank you. Lupin, Cynthia says, is not keto. I didn't think so. But like I said, hey, not to sound like, that was creepy, Marcus. I'm not going to even repeat that comment. Can you get your recipes off your website? Yeah, sugarfreemom.com. They're all there. This Facebook page, I just share them, and I share other bloggers' recipes. But all my recipes with the search bar on the sugarfreemom.com. That's where I go, and that's where I need people to go, because that's where I make, add income traffic for my, family to share my free recipes. Monk fruit will dissolve in water. Yep, that one works good. I like monk fruit too. That would be great. Love to pick your brain, Rebecca says. Yeah, great. Cynthia says 3 months down and 30 pounds. Congratulations. That's wonderful, especially during this time. All right, I'm going to check on my, it says 5 minutes, but I'm going to see if the toast is done. Let me move this stuff so I could put it here. It might not be totally browned yet, but just so you get an effect of what it looks like when it's done. I'm going to put it on a towel so I don't burn my counter. Okay, here it is. It's still soft. It's totally not done, but you could take a pizza cutter, cut it into 9 pieces, and put it back in the oven for 5 minutes, just so that the scoring of it is done already. So I said 9 pieces, right? So that's 2 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're very good sized pieces. I'm just kind of scoring it down. We're not going to break them up until it goes in for 5 more minutes. So that's 2 more minutes. They're large for 1 net carb. Isn't that great? And they are going to crisp up, like I said. There you go. We're going to put it in for 5 more minutes because they're not crispy yet. All right, and when that's all done, I can show you. I would let it cool, obviously, before you add anything on top of it, like cream cheese and smoked salmon with capers. That'd be delicious. Do I know of a gelatin that's not beef? I do not. Anybody know of a gelatin that isn't beef? There probably is something, but maybe just use flax or chia instead, because that would gel up like an egg would. But like, I want to remind you guys, if you have collagen peptides and the beef gelatin powder, they don't work the same. This will not gel up. This gels up like Knox gelatin would. I found this in my digging out through my pantry this week, and I had this from long ago. But I don't use it now because I want the grass-fed, because like I said, the grass-fed, you want grass-fed when you're eating things, because most of the toxins are stored in fat of any animal, and even in people. So if you have weight on you, the best thing to do is to reduce your inflammation, reduce your weight, so that you release those toxins out of your body. And I wanted to share with you, I ran out of my Ultima. I usually use the Ultima, what do you call it? Electrolytes. And so I had made my own. That recipe is on my website. I made a lemon ginger, a lime, and an orange flavored. And this is what I used so that you can have, you know how those vitamin zeros, you know, you could buy them, but if you're not going to the store and you can't get those vitamin zeros, you still want to replace your electrolytes, especially if you're doing keto or low carb. So this stuff is called Calm Plus Calcium. If I put my glasses on, I can read to you the ingredients. It's basically got the same things that those vitamin zeros would have. It's got vitamin C, vitamin D, calcium, magnesium, potassium, and boron. So basically it has a mild flavor. It's flavored with stevia. This one is raspberry lemon. You could just mix it with water. You could add, I like stevia sweet drops, like the sweet drops like lemon, and they have different flavors. Those are really great. Or you could just have it like this. Or you could just, add this. This is optional to add it to the electrolyte drink that I made last week. But it is delicious. And I think you will love it. Hey, Michelle, thanks for ordering. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is unflavored. This is unflavored beef gelatin. Someone asked about, does it taste like beef? Not at all. It's unflavored because we're putting it in the toast. We're just strictly using it to replace 2 eggs. But if you're vegan and you don't do beef, then obviously you don't want to use gelatin. So use flax or chia, but I've never tried it. So I can't really say that that would be any good. All right, 1 minute. I'm going to take a drink and then we're going to take my toast out of the oven. And what should I make next week? Should I make anything? Oh, the other thing I wanted to ask everybody is I was thinking of other opportunities for small groups and private, maybe private group coaching. Is that something that everybody might be interested in, where we would meet weekly live for a weekly kind of support meeting? It doesn't matter whether you're keto or you're low carb, but I'm a certified keto coach through Maria Emmerich's website. I'm also in nutritional therapy school currently. And so basically I want to support you guys, and I want to find a way to do that. So rather than just on Facebook, I was thinking maybe a weekly Zoom meeting for support. Oh, that's the oven. Let me get it. Okay, this is looking really good. Can you see it now? It's definitely crisped up. It's not soft, but I have to let it cool before I can pick it up. But this is what you're looking for, a nice golden brown around the edges. And you just let it sit for a few minutes and you'll be able to enjoy it with anything that you want on it. But I would totally love if you are, I'm probably going to send something out to my email subscribers. I'm thinking for May. I am going to do, on April 15th, I am going to do a free webinar through Zoom. You have to sign up for that. Maybe I'll put the link above, but it's, stopping the cravings, breaking free from sugar addiction. This is open to people that are, it doesn't matter if you're low carb or keto. I'm just trying to support through kind of group coaching. That's what it would be. So maybe through the month of May, we could try it out. So if you're interested, I would just love for you to let me know if that's something that would interest you. And like I said, maybe, we'd have a small private group on Facebook, but it would be a Zoom weekly meeting. But let me show you how this looks. Let's see. I think I need a spatula. Oh, I forgot to shut the oven off. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna cut these again right where I made the scoring before they went in for another 5 minutes, just to make them easier to lift and break apart. And now you have 9 delicious pieces. 1 piece, 1 net carb. That's great. But if you have teenagers in the house like I do, this is going to be gone by tomorrow. I have 3 teens. My youngest is 14. He's a boy. My oldest is a boy, and he is in from college. He is almost 20 in May. And my daughter in the middle, she is 17. Okay. Okay, I am not doing well with this pizza cutter. Let's try another one. Maybe it was the pizza cutter, huh? And not me. Ah, that's it. Pizza cutter. Fault, not my fault. There we go. So it's still hot. Aw, I broke it. But there it is. I can hold it up. It's nice and golden brown on the bottom. You want to let it cool, and then you can put cream cheese, smoked salmon. I guess you could make sandwiches with it, nice and thin. Like I said, 1 net carb each is not bad. And nut-free and keto. 3 total carbs if you're counting total. All right, so that's it. That is my quick keto toast. You can make it with coconut flour or you can make it with almond flour. Let me know if you like it. It's posted on my website as of yesterday. I'd love your comments there if you've made it. And let me know if you're interested in some group coaching, and sign up for my email, which is free, on sugarfreemom.com, so you can be first to notified when I actually decide to do that group coaching plan, hopefully for May. All right, everybody, until then, till next Thursday at 11, let me know any ideas you have for another recipe you'd like me to make that may be giving you trouble from one of the recipes I've made for you, or maybe we should make some Easter dessert, like my lemon cream pie, my pie crust, my lemon cream pie, what else? Oh, my Italian egg biscuits for Easter, or my peanut butter eggs for Easter. Maybe we should do some Easter prep next week, next Thursday. We're not gonna be getting together with anybody but our own family, even I can't even see my parents or my brothers, but hopefully that will come in May and we'll see each other for Mother's Day. But for now, we could do some Easter prepping next week, and you could join me. All right, I hope you have a great time and a great day being homebound, and I hope that this has encouraged you to continue keeping keto or low carb or whatever you're doing and staying healthy, and just be encouraged. So I will see you next Thursday. Ciao for now.